Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I'm Brendan Lee. In this video I want to talk to you about resolution or resolving yourself as a human being. You ever have that stuff in life where you are going along and it's like you just don't feel quite right or you don't feel like a complete human being, and for some reason you think that, okay, if I could just get X, Y, or Z, then I would be solved, or then I would be complete or whole. If I could just enter your particular thing here or there, or whatever. And then, because it occurred to me the other day when I was coming back down, I've been working on some stuff lately, or I've been, sometimes in the background, I'm considering things, and I'm also working on building a house, which is not easy, by the way. And I had something come up like, well, if I could just get more money, then I would be, I could relax finally. Or if I could just, then I could relax. Or, if I could just finish this one project, then I can, I'll finally be able to not work or something, I'll be fixed or I'll be complete or something like that. And I was walking back down here by the dojo, meditation hall, whatever you want to call it. I call it the dojo when we're not doing stuff. And that's what I grew up on. And it occurred to me, right. Oh, yes, I forgot. I'm looking for resolution in an external environment. I'm looking to be resolved. First, something needs to happen out there. Then I can be resolved in here. And it occurred to me, it's like, and I'm pushing 40 years old or whatever. And, oh yeah, right, I forgot. External circumstances change. But what is the constant there? What I mean by that is I could go to Tahiti, I could go to Costa Rica, I could go to Mexico, another country, whatever. I could change my environment. My environment can change. I can change that. But what stays constant throughout that change? As if constant. See, there's an element that doesn't. What I mean by stays constant is there's something like my environment changes, and if I am trying to seek resolution by changing my environment, how is the environment going to change me? Now, granted, I would say that there are some environments that are just very unhealthy to be in, so then a change in environment could make a huge difference. All right, so I'm not saying that isn't a factor in one's, say, mental health or one's, having a rich and fulfilling life. If I spend all of my time in a septic tank, life's going to be shitty. See what I did there? See, so now I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that can't make a difference. Hey, maybe get out of the septic tank might be a good thing to do. Oh, wow, there's fresh air. Who knew? That smells good. Didn't know life could smell so good. But what I'm saying is that this resolution aspect as a human being resolved, as if fixed or finally complete or something, no external circumstance is going to do that. And also, there seems to be, again, and now I'm considering with you, so consider along with me in your experience, there seems to be an additional component or an additional distinction I can make. Not only is my external environment what I see out here, but also what else do you consider to be external to you? Thoughts are external, even though they are as if internal. You're still the one viewing the thought, aren't you? Or if you have an emotion, you are the one experiencing the emotion. So then the emotion is as if external. It's something that you recognize out there, even though the out there isn't anywhere. It's what we say like, well, it's in there. And then again, I would obviously challenge you on that. Be like, well, where in there? Is it exactly? Well, it's in my head. Yeah, well, if we open your head, are we going to find an emotion in there? Well, where is it? Really, that's another consideration. Still, in your experience, isn't it external? It's something that you notice. I notice the objects around me. I also notice the thoughts I am thinking. I also notice the emotions I'm having. So what's missing here, it's like, I need resolution. Where does that show up? It probably shows up as like some sort of feeling, sense, or conviction that you have in your experience. I need this. The need is external. Like, I recognize the need, but I don't recognize the me that the need comes from, kind of thing. Did I lose you there? The need, say, comes from the you that is there. Now, I'm not saying the you in any ultimate sense, but so say experientially, what I think is missing from this is the you part. I, whatever that is, I'm not saying, okay, I make a distinction there. I'm using my hand in this shape so you can like separate something out. We're objectifying the situation even though it may not be objective, so just bear with me. I recognize an emotion. I recognize a thought. I recognize my environment. I recognize a need to do something. I recognize, but you're not recognizing I. And again, if you have a spiritual bent, please, I don't want your mind to go down those roads about what I is and ego and id and blah, 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 and all this. The oneness of I, anything you have about I just mean the you part in your experience. So let's throw out the books and just go with your experience. You recognize stuff. And so if you, need resolution, what's the you part? You recognize a need, you recognize an emotion, you recognize your environment, you want things to change. How do you know about wanting? Well, you recognize a wanting, a desire, something coming up that you want. You avoid things, you go towards things. And then what's the you part? What is the shape of you? I don't think we look in that direction. We usually look to resolve the problem out there, or change the thoughts, or change the feelings without considering the origination of the feelings, the me part of the equation, which by and large is mostly unknown. What way are you such that you need those feelings? What way are you such that you avoid this and want that? You also recognize your psychology. What way are you such that psychology shows up? I think often people get stuck in a psychological paradigm, which is useful, seems useful. And I also see it as a limitation in the sense that if that's all that is being considered, then we're not considering as if the real source of the psychology in the first place. And then there's whole bodies of work that are dedicated toward explaining that. Yeah. So then about resolution, one place I think it's useful to look is the you aspect. I keep remembering a video that Peter did. Peter Rawlson, my teacher mentor, is a huge contributor to what I have to contribute to you. I remember him doing a video with some apprentices. Well, it was a video that I posted. I took the video. He did the work. I shot the video, made a little snippet, put it on YouTube. He's talking about apprentices, or with apprentices, and it's like he starts going off. Your circumstances can change, but the person you are doesn't change, as if. The person that you are is what you bring to every circumstance. The person that you are is what you relate to all your emotions. You relate the person that you are to the emotion you're having. You see how that... And the person is the wild card there, the part that isn't examined very thoroughly. It's usually, let's look into your thinking, let's look into the emotions, let's look into your environment, let's look at somewhere else other than the person that you're being. And so in this video, if you want resolution, it's useful to consider what you might be assuming about the person that you're being. You could use such questions like, well, what way am I being such that this is happening? Or what do you assume needs to be the case about the way that you're being? Like, are you somehow inherently needing to be resolved? Well, who said you need resolution? Where did that even come from? And sometimes, truth to tell, I watch my own videos and I'm like, oh, that's good advice. I should look into that. I'm like, oh, shit. Because I fall into some of the same traps that I'm trying to help you get out of. See, it's not like I'm separate from that stuff, you see, to some degree. Now, to some degree, I'm quite free. And in other ways, I'm quite stuck. So, the consideration here is if you are considering resolution for yourself, look at the self part, the you part. Where did you even come up with that idea that you need to be resolved? It's like, is there something wrong with you inherently? I want to challenge that idea. Like, who said? And how do you know there's something wrong? Well, I feel wrong. I don't know. I just feel wrong. Yeah? Well, what is this you that feels wrong? What are you made of? Are you made of like some sort of cosmic toilet paper that inherently is wrong because life is all about wiping butts and getting flushed down a toilet? That's kind of fucking weird, but what are you made of? Are you a rock that's somehow bad just for being a rock? Is there something inherently wrong with being something? Because in order for you to be, you have to be something. See? Something going on. Is there something wrong with that? Is there something wrong with having a desire? This is something I might look into for myself. Is there something wrong with wanting something? Are you allowed to want? See? You allowed to be afraid? If you're afraid, does that mean that there's something inherently wrong with your core being as a self, as a person? Something totally wrong with you for that? See, these assumptions remain unchallenged for the most part, and yet they dominate the experience of life. If you want to check out some of that stuff, shameless plug, come here and do a workshop. We have like Transforming Experience of Life workshop, which is good for that. ENB, Experiencing the Nature of Being, also good for that. So you're invited. We do the work here. This is good. Powerful stuff to do. Gets at some of this stuff. Yeah? So that's what I have for you on resolution. Just some thoughts, some considerations. Take a look into it for yourself. Otherwise, hey, keep being unresolved and keep trying to get fixed by doing something out there. Because that'll really do it. It won't. Yeah. One of the things I say is an internal problem as if requires... You have to confront the problem where it is. And I think part of the problem is people don't know where it is. They think it's like, the environment or something outside is the problem. It's like, no, it's what you are being that is the problem, as if. It's what causes the suffering. And then the tricky part is, how do you get at that stuff? Because the way you're looking from it, not at it. Like Peter would say in a workshop here, or that I have said because I do the workshops, I facilitate them. You're looking out from yourself. You're not looking at yourself. It's kind of like, again, what we say in a workshop, it's kind of like an eyeball trying to look at itself. The function of the eyeball is to look out, not to look at itself. So then somehow you need a capacity to look at your own self without using the eyeball, because the eyeball can't really do it yet. There is another possibility, and that possibility, I would call that like contemplation or using consciousness to get there, to get to where you already are. It's like a strange form of looking, but it takes the form of contemplation. Looking into the matter deeply, really wanting to know and opening up and allowing for that to occur. Okay? So there's some thoughts for you on resolution. If you want to make use of this, then make use of it. If you're using this video for entertainment, then use it for entertainment. All right? You can be straight with yourself about what you're doing. It's fine. And if you actually want to get serious or more serious, videos like small serious. There's depths and levels of seriousness, and I think that is a prerequisite if you actually want to make real progress. A certain amount of seriousness is required. Check the links. Hey, we do workshops. They're extremely powerful events that will knock the socks off any video, book, anything you've ever read, bar none. That's just a fact. And definitely come do that. I've got a free course, paid course. Hire me to be an online coach. Much love. Take care. Good luck in your work, because this mind is a ferocious deal. And it's no joke powerful. And it takes an extraordinary amount of consideration in looking into it to start to work to free yourself from it, if you have that as a goal. That's just the way it seems to me. All right. So keep working. Hit me in the comments. Throw me an email. But otherwise, keep kicking ass out there. I love you. Take care of yourselves. Until next time. I'm Brendan Lee with theBrendanLee.com, in support of Consciousness and Skill Worldwide, which is founded by Peter Rawlinson.